Economics for the Common Good, explaining the cognitive biases and how they make communication of science, not only economics, but more generally science, difficult. And there are many cognitive biases that you can discuss, but two I mention is motivated beliefs and direct and indirect effects. So motivated beliefs is a fact that we believe what we want to believe. We see what we want to see. So we tend to dream of a different world in which accidents or illnesses will not occur to us. We always think that it's not going to occur to us. It happens to the other, but it doesn't happen to us. And that has actually some consequences, which that we may not put on a safety belt, that's what was made mandatory, or we may forego a medical checkup. Okay? Now, there is also some functionality in it. It's functional in some way, in that we live happier by ignoring the fact that we may have an accident, we or our friends or family may have accidents or illnesses. Because if we thought about death all the time, for example, then that will not be an happy life. But the consequence of that is that we try to build a rosy beliefs, a bright future, brighter than it is. So in the economic realm, we all dream of a world in which people will behave nicer because it's nicer to live in a nice society. You will not have to force people to drive slowly, or companies to stop polluting or to pollute or avoid taxes and so on. We want to believe in green growth. So in the West, there's this big thing which we are paying for right now, is that many politicians, they said we want to fight climate change. Okay, good. And then they say, by the way, if we are green, we are going to grow faster. And if you have a good education and you are a bit critical, you say, but if we grow faster by being green, why don't we do it now? Right? Why don't we do it now? It makes no sense. And the truth is that if we want to be green, we have to accept a small reduction in purchasing power. And that's worth it. We want to save our planet. We want to avoid international conflicts. We want to give a planet to our children and grandchildren. That's worth it, to lose a little bit of GDP. But the politicians in the West, many of them have said we'll have green growth. And now what happens is that when you start giving incentives, like a carbon tax, what has happened in France in the last few weeks, shows that people say, no, I don't want to pay. Because they think that actually you can fight climate change for free. And that's something we have to educate also the citizens about, because the politicians have been playing this game that actually there's nothing you need to do. It will come by itself and we'll have growth and a safe planet. And there are, I could extend that in many countries. People will tell you the public debt will go away. So the countries accumulate a lot of public debt, unfunded pension, and they don't take into account, of course, the fact that there might be a crisis because they think, and the citizens want to think that somebody else will pay or there won't be a crisis. So we believe what we want to believe. And of course that makes the work of an economist harder, because an economist is a bearer of bad news. The economist is going to say, look, if you want to do that, we have to put in some effort. And that's something that many citizens don't want to hear. And by the way, the populist, left-wing and right-wing, play with that. They always promote the vision of an economy free of difficult choices. But let's leave that to them. The other thing is, we as economists, we are trained to think globally.